your guidance in our lives. We pray that you would just be with us as we deliberate the business of the Joint Water and Sewer. We thank you for all the employees of Joint Water and Sewer and their dedication to their job. We'll want to also remember our first responders, our military servicemen and women. Thank you, Father, for the privilege of living in the greatest country on earth. Guide us in all that we do, and let us give you the honor and the glory. And it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We got the first thing we had, there's no public comment, is there?
No, sir.
We're going to recognize two employees. First is Keith Hopkins. Keith?
You're first on the list, man. You're first on the list.
This is a big award, too. You've been with us since August 2022. You've been a water production operator for 2 years. Obtained his Class 3 water license, and the past 2 years has continued to demonstrate without environment positive attitude. To earn this award, he had to display outstanding and innovative performance in the field of water operations. One of which is Georgia Water Association of Water Professionals. Hereby awards this 2024 Top Water Operator of the Year for outstanding and innovative performance in the field of water plant operations. BGJWSC yesterday, the Georgia Association of Water Professionals recognizes Keith Hopkins, son of Kevin Bridgen and Linda Brooks. Congratulations.
Doing with me. Oh no, knowing Keith for the past 2 years, I mean, we've worked together. You can't ask for a better employee, friend, co-worker. Look forward to spending many more years working together here at Joint Water and Sewer. Glad to have him here.
have to say that's the best part of our meetings. Committee updates, we had a facilities and a finance combined meeting, so I guess I have to give the update for those. And let's see. We approved the health insurance annual renewal. The virtual card program is being delayed till next month. We also approved the 2025 rate resolution. It was presented by Mr. Burris. We had to approve a IRS addendum to the pension plan for submittal to IRS. A small paving contract on Newcastle and Sea Palms West Drives was approved. Dunbar Creek change order number 4 was approved. Contract award for the exit 42 elevated storage tank was approved. And then we dedicated some easements and infrastructure in the 50 Oaks subdivision. We had a good report on all of the capital projects we had, and we had good financial statements provided us by Ms. Wilson. I do want to commend our staff on the storage tank. That's one of the first projects that we bid. We did a couple of pump stations, I think, too, but it was designed by the staff, so we did not have to put that outsourced to outside engineering firms. They did a good job, and the project came in within the estimated budget that we thought it would. That's my report, and we'll proceed now to the approval section of the commission meeting.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask if we could please approve the agenda as amended first?
And I have a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson, how do y'all vote on that? Are they here?
Yes, sir.
Watson, yes. Cook, yes.
The motion carries 7-0. First item is the minutes from the May 16th, 2024 commission meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 16th, 2024 meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by raising your right hand. Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson.
Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. The item 2, the virtual card program and limit, that's going to be delayed until next meeting in July. The health insurance annual renewal, Mr. Burris.
Do we need to make a motion for that deferral?
Yes.
Okay, make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we defer item number 2, virtual card program and limit to our next July scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Commissioner Cook and Watson.
Cook, yes. Watson, yes.
The motion carries 7-0. Next item is health insurance annual renewal, Mr. Burris.
Yes, and we have Ms. Katina Tyndall with First Coast Benefit Solutions here with us today. This is our annual health insurance renewal. A bit of background: on August 1st, 2020, we went to a self-funded insurance program with United Healthcare from a previously fully funded plan. Our employer costs the 2 years prior to going to this self-funded plan were $1.9 and $1.8 million. We have in the last 4 years seen cost net of employee contributions for premiums of 1.4, just shy of 1.5, last year at 1.8, and then this year projected to be around 1.5 again. We have not adjusted the employee deductions since we've went to the fully funded plan in 2020. The recommendation that Ms. Tyndall will go through the details on is we again do not adjust employee deductions. And then this is also the renewal of the dental, vision, short-term disability, long-term disability, voluntary life, and dependent life insurance coverage plans as well. And with that, I will turn it over to Ms. Tyndall.
Thank you, and my apologies for this being repeated. Commissioner Strickland, this is really all for you.
Aren't you special?
I saw the agenda, and I know you have a lot today, so I'm gonna run through it, but if there's anything you want to talk about in addition, please feel free to stop me at any time. So looking over the summary of changes from last year, just to sort of catch everyone up, the dental, vision, and employer-paid life insurance, we shopped out and moved to Principal Life Insurance Company. We also increased the dental benefit from $1,000 to $2,500. As we all know, the dental world has changed quite a bit, and $1,000 doesn't get you very far. So we were able to negotiate a really great contract and move that up for a nominal difference. We did look at increasing that up to the $5,000 level, but that was a $9 employee-only charge, and I don't think the value is there. So we'll just keep it at the $2,500 based on the staff discussion. The main changes that you made last year are you went from 1 times annual salary to 3 times annual salary on the life insurance. So the example I gave earlier, if you make $30,000 a year, you have a $30,000 employer-paid life insurance plan. That is now a $90,000 policy. So that was tripled, and that's of great value. And I think that from the discussions we had with Vanessa, the employees seem to appreciate that quite a bit, because that's something given to all full-time employees, whether they take the health insurance or any of the other benefits. So that was valuable. The long-term disability, short-term disability, and voluntary life insurance that the employees can purchase additional life insurance at their own cost if they choose to do so, remained with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is now transitioned over to the standard company. You all reduced the deductible reimbursement by from 50% to 75%, so the employees pay 25% of the stated deductible. That was done to address some of the issues that the employees were not seeking health care because of the cost of the deductible. And so we have seen great success in the employees who needed the care have gone out and been reimbursed. But it's not been so much so that those reimbursements have been so significant that it has been a ding on the budget. So it's working well, and that was appreciated. The individual stop loss, we did move from $75,000 to $100,000, and I understand the recommendation for Mr. Burrows is to move that up to $150,000. Essentially, it pays for itself, and as we talked about earlier, you all have a reserve account that allows you to have the cash flow to be able to see the benefits long-term over a 12-month period, to see the savings of what a self-funded plan can do. Any questions on that at all? All right, so on the non-medical benefits, there was no increase on any of the benefits, with a small exception of the life insurance, just due to demographic changes in the age of the group. That was an insignificant difference, but there was a small increase on that employer-paid life. On the next page, scroll down. Thank you, Ms. Janice. You will see that we have 16 employees enrolled in the $1,500 plan, 76 enrolled on the $3,500 plan, and 13 employees on the HSA plan. So the bulk of the employees are on the $3,500 deductible plan, of which 75% is reimbursed if they meet the first 25%. You can see across the top that the fixed cost of the admin, $129.73, is increasing to $130.82. We did base this off of 105 employees, but by the time we received the alternative plans, it was 103, and since the counts are calculated by employee numbers, we did go from 105 to 103, and all that means is if you do any of the math and it doesn't make sense, it's because 103 is the way that they calculated those numbers per person. So the $312.92 to $361 for the individual stop loss is the most significant difference. And that just means that the cost of insurance went up a little because the claims have been quite high. So the expected claims are a little higher than we expected. Still seeing a tremendous savings. I think Mr. Burrows spoke earlier in the joint meetings that we're looking at several $100,000 a year every year, even in a bad year. And in a good year, it's been quite significant. So the self-funded route has made a huge difference and is running quite well. We do have 2 claimants. We can flip over to the next page. 2 claimants that we expect are going to meet that $150,000 individual stop loss, so we know that that's in front of us. But even calculating that, the $150,000 stop loss still makes financial sense, because when you look at the bottom line, again, the savings, we have a better chance of saving more than we will spend on that. And this just gives you an idea of where that little bit of an increase comes from. You can see that those first 3 months in the 23-05, that's just going to be the last months of last year that we looked at those claims were over the $100,000 individual stop loss. So we did see some higher than normal claims the last 3 months after renewal. As Mr. Burrows talked about, the employees have been able to keep the same or better plan design, the same cost to them, and the commission has saved money over the past 3 and 4 years. So we feel that this route has been successful. We have seen an uptick in more expensive medications, and we are adding a $500 benefit on the back end of the Optum RX program that will allow some manufacturer coupons to lower the overall cost. The employees will never see the difference, but the employees will see lower copays in their specialty drugs, and the commission will see lower cost using those manufacturer coupons. So our goal is to try to not disrupt what the employees see, but work on the back end as much as possible to curb those costs as we can. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Can I have a motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission renew the employee insurance coverages to be effective August 1st, 2024 as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Cook and Mr. Watson?
Cook, yes. Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
We have employee meetings already set up, and Vanessa and her team with Teamwork Services, and one of my staff members will be attending those meetings, so we're ready to go. We appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much.
Appreciate you doing all this for us. And
Sir?
we appreciate you doing all this for us.
Oh, yes, thank
And
you.
tell us what happens during the employee meeting. You just,
So during those employee meetings, Vanessa actually has a handout and goes over all of the benefits with the employees, how to use them, how the reimbursement works, how to find a doctor, how to access care, best practices of how to maximize those benefits. It really is sort of a take off the tie and unbutton the top button conversation, so the employees just understand how to use it, because all these benefits that cost quite a bit of money are of no value if they don't know how to use it. So it's really just a review on how to best access that care and what to do if they have problems, which is to come to us and let us navigate that for them. And that's worked quite well.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
How can we, who can attend that? How do they attend?
Every employee is required to attend one session,
Yes.
Okay,
even if they don't take one.
so they have multiple sessions.
There's 4 sessions.
Okay,
Every employee is required to attend one, because we're required to offer insurance to all full-time employees, and they have to actually select that they don't want insurance at those meetings if they don't want them.
thank y'all for working with us on this.
Thank you so much.
Next item on the agenda is the pension plan IRS addendum. Mr. Owens, can you briefly give us what this is about?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Periodically, the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission is required to request the IRS do a review of our pension plan, which is a defined benefit retirement plan, in order to grant a favorable determination letter. The favorable determination letter expresses the IRS's opinion that the plan meets the IRS code tax qualification requirements. This is mandatory for the plan, for the commission to deduct contributions made to the plan up to applicable limits. Also, the plan participants to be able to defer taxes on their contributions, and for those contributions to grow tax deferred until distributed from the plan. Recently, we have received notification from the Georgia Municipal Employees Benefit System that we must make a request of the IRS to receive a new determination letter and have that filed by March 31st of 2025. GMEBS assists us in putting together this application for the determination letter, but they require us to sign certain forms to be returned to them. Those forms include the power of attorney and declarations of representative, as well as the penalties of perjury statement. At this time, the BGJWSC staff recommends that the commission authorize the chairman to execute the necessary forms in order for the IRS to do their review and issue a determination letter.
Can I have a motion?
I make a motion that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission Chairman be authorized to sign the forms required to facilitate the Internal Revenue Service review necessary to issue a favorable determination letter related to the JWSC defined benefit retirement.
Second.
We'd like to thank you for reading that motion, sir.
It's an exciting time in joint water.
Any
and sewer.
questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Commissioner Cook, Commissioner Watson? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Good old determination.
Next item is fiscal year 2025 rate resolution, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. As discussed at the March Finance Committee meeting when we presented the proposed budget, at the April Finance and Full Commission meeting when we approved the proposed budget, and at the town hall meetings that occurred earlier this month, we have before you a rate resolution which will allow us to support the budget that was approved at the April meeting, and there are a handful of changes that I will go through. In your packet, you will have a red line copy. And then since red line copies can be a little bit of a challenge to follow along with, there's also a clean copy that has all the new information in it. The changes are the administrative base charges for water and sewer, that's a per bill charge, will go up 50 cents. The residential equivalent unit charge, which is based off of your usage potential. So for example, a fast food restaurant may be 15 REUs versus a house, which is always 1 REU. There's a fast food restaurant uses more water. That's billed out per REU. That is going up 25 cents for both water and sewer. Usage charges for both water and sewer usage rates are increasing 3%. And then a few other items in here to discuss. We bill out for industrial customers that discharge concentrations higher than 200 milligrams per liter of BOD and TSS to the Academy Creek facility. They get about a per pound charge over 200 milligrams per liter. And that is going to 88 cents for BOD and 84 cents per pound for TSS. And those numbers are the rolling 3-year average of cost of treatment for BOD and TSS at the Academy Creek facility. There's a few administrative changes like the date that's proposed adoption, the dates on the front of the covers, and then the other not major, but change to note word here is our standard meter installation fee is a flat rate for installing a meter and a service. What we have run into is sometimes we're requested to install services under divided highways, 4-lane and 5-lane highways, compared to what is a typical residential service, which is a 2-lane highway in a neighborhood. So what we have put in here for your consideration is any water service installation where work is required to cross a divided roadway, the fees will be billed at cost. We won't be making any money on this. It's just billed at cost because if you're shooting 200 feet instead of 30 feet or 40 feet, that makes a big difference in the cost to install that. So other than that, the only other change is the contracted repair rate, which impacts very, very few people. For road repair is it used to be per job, and now we've updated it to per square yard at $13.50 or $135.50 per square yard, which is what we're billed from our paving contractor right now, because we do not do road repairs in-house.
Could I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve the attached rate resolution for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Andrew, what's the additional funds that will this rate increase bring in?
It'll increase approximately 1.3 million between those funds, yes, sir. And it is all going to capital projects to keep up with project costs.
And over the last 5 years, what increases have we had? Is this the first increase in 5 years?
Last year we did a 2% increase, I believe, on the sewer, and the year before that it was a 2% increase on the high water usage numbers. So all told, I think we're at around, in the last 7 years, a total of about 5 or 6% total over the last 7 years.
Well, I want to commend the staff for keeping the rates down as low as they have been. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson?
Yes. Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Next item is Newcastle and Sea Palms West Drive paving contract, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. We went through this in some detail as to why we've only got one quote on this at the Finance and Facilities Committee meetings earlier today. But we have two larger paving jobs than we typically see that we have struggled for 2 years to get multiple quotes on. We have finally got a quote that will allow us to move forward. Sea Palms West Drive is between the section of Sea Palms West between General Oglethorpe and Wimbledon. It's 920 feet along Sea Palms West Drive that will be paved. This was due to sinkholes that were created before we got the CIPP repairs done on the sewer lines. We did that job a couple of years ago. It was very successful. We knocked out about 300,000 to 400,000 gallons a day of I&I in that system. But we've cold patched it, but it needs to be permanently fixed. And then the other one is down on Newcastle Street right there by the Seafarer Center. It's 236 feet. There was a section of line there in the GDOT right-of-way. They needed repair. That has been fixed, and it has temporarily been patched. But again, this will be to do the complete paving. Let's see here. Evans Asphalt has done extensive amount of work for us in the last 3 months and have actually made a lot of progress catching up some of our patchwork. And so the contract would be to pave both of these for $196,833.80. And this is funded out of the Systems Pumping and Maintenance Operations budget.
Can I have a motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission award a contract to Evans Asphalt Repair for paving repairs to Newcastle Street and Sea Palms West Drive in the amount of $196,833.80.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson?
Cook, yes. Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Next item is Dunbar Creek change order number 4, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. This is a small change order for 2 items at the Dunbar Creek plant with the ongoing project. The first one is to remove a butterfly valve on the effluent line leaving AB2. That needs to be removed. It was a part of the old treatment process that was installed when the SBR plant was online. That has now been converted to a flow-through plant in the early 2000s, and we're removing this valve at this time. There will be a line stop installed to prevent flow from coming backwards during the process, and they will remove the valve and put a spool piece in. And the other one, as part of the project, we installed a reuse water pumping skid that is currently uncovered and has electrical panels and things like that. So our request is to build a structure over that to get it somewhat out of the elements. And the combined cost to do these two is change order number 4 to the Dunbar Creek project of $53,093.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve change order number 4 in the amount of $53,093 to BRW Construction Group LLC for scope changes associated with the Dunbar Creek wastewater plant.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson?
Cook, yes. Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Next item is contract award exit 42 elevated storage tank, Mr. Burris.
Yes, sir. If you look on the screen in GIS, this little parcel here adjacent to the interstate, there's a billboard on the other side here. This is the Gateway Track, which is owned by the Golden Isles Development Authority. We acquired a small parcel from them to construct a new elevated storage tank at exit 42. As the chairman mentioned in his part of his update, this was a in-house design of an elevated storage tank. Tremendous job by our team internally in planning and construction for getting this done. And why do we build new elevated storage tanks? Because they improve reliability and efficiency for our systems. What they do is provide consistent pressures because they don't fluctuate with pumping. It based off the level in the tank, and it provides improved fire protection. Given the amount of proposed residential, commercial, and potential industrial development along the Highway 99 corridor, this is a good project for us. It is in line with the master plan that was updated in 2020. So we had 3 bidders, which is about the only 3 people that build elevated storage tanks. And so we got all 3 of them to give us a bid, and the low bid was Phoenix Fabricators and Erectors at $4,734,713. And we can pull up a composite tank if anybody's curious. Where's images at? I'm looking for the Phoenix one. I happened to click on one earlier today that was from Phoenix, yes. So it's a concrete bottom and then a steel top. And the concrete bottom means this does not require near the long-term maintenance. The steel does have to be painted periodically, but when we do have to paint tanks like this, it is much less costly to paint the tank down the road.
And the concrete's just left raw?
Concrete is left raw. And this will be a 750,000-gallon elevated storage tank, which will be the joint largest tank we have. The other 750,000-gallon tank we have is the Prince Street tank in downtown Brunswick. It will not say whatever this sand, whatever is on top of it. It will have the Development Authority's logo on one side and our logo on the other.
So, Mr. Chair, I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission award a contract to Phoenix Fabricators and Erectors LLC for the construction of Exit 42 elevated storage tank in the amount of $4,734,713.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Commissioner Cook, Commissioner Watson?
Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Andrew. Next item is dedication of easements and infrastructure, Mr. Klein, for 50 Oaks subdivision.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, thank you again for the chance to bring this agenda item to you. This is an infrastructure dedication and also conveyance of an easement for development, a privately developed project on St. Simon's Island known as 50 Oaks subdivision. Bringing to us as part of their dedication is a little over 2,000 linear feet of 8-inch PVC water main, a little over 1,700 linear feet of 8-inch PVC sewer collection system, including manholes. And this development, when fully built out, will bring on 54 new customer accounts to the Joint Water and Sewer Commission. And there are record drawings attached for details. There's one for the wastewater collection system and also one for the potable water system. And do just want to add and emphasize that all construction, private and public, is inspected along the way to ensure it meets Joint Water and Sewer Commission's standards of construction. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Can I have a motion?
I move that the Brunswick-Glynn Joint Water and Sewer Commission approve and accept the project with associated documentation.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor? Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Executive Director's update.
Yes, sir. First off, I'd like to recognize our Mr. Bill Edgy, who will be joining our board in January. Thank you for joining us today, sir. I'd also like to thank Stacy Grace and Dave Alston for their interest in being on our board through the elections process. So thank you for all that interest, and congratulations to future Commissioner Edgy. Before we have our next meeting, we will be in Savannah, a few of us will be at the Georgia Association of Water Professionals Conference. It's a good 3-day conference, similar to the one we have here on Jekyll, but a slightly different focus. And if any of the commissioners would like to attend that for even for a day, please let us know. We can get you registered for that. It's a good way to keep up to date with current events in the water industry. And then major project news before the next commission meeting, we should be kicking off construction on the Brunswick Villa sewer improvements before the next commission meeting, and also the 4002 CIPP project in downtown Brunswick. We will not be aligning pipes before the next commission meeting, but we will be doing some television inspections and things like that before that. And I did mention at the combined committee meeting this morning, we have applied for a grant that we will find out before the next commission meeting. So hopefully we'll have good news for you at the next commission meeting that will allow us to tie every current structure in the ARCO neighborhood to the sewer system, with the only cost out of pocket to the resident would be the capital portion of the sewer capital improvement fee, which we can finance for up to 10 years as part of their water bill. So if this goes through, which we're hopeful, there's no guarantees, but if it does go through, we would be able to get all of those customers on without any money up front required from the customer. That is my update.
Commissioners' discussion?
Mr. Chair, I do have one item, if you don't mind. You know, as being one of our newer commissioners, I wanted to take this opportunity today to recognize, obviously it's June 19th, and so the celebration of Juneteenth. You know, it's a national holiday, and also the county and the city both recognize this as a holiday. So I'd ask that this commission, we have a wonderful staff, and I think our staff deserves also honoring this holiday off as well. So I'd like us to review that and see if staff can bring that back to our commission at the next meeting and make this an official holiday for our staff members.
What do we have to do to move in that direction, Charlie?
Just update the SOP, right? Yeah. So I'll bring, I'll certainly bring the proposed updates to the holiday policy that's in our HR SOP for your consideration at the next meeting.
Do our paperwork and reform limit the number of holidays or anything like that? Because I know we don't take some of the holidays that, like Columbus Day.
Now, the current holiday policy just lists the specific days that our Joint Water and Sewer Commission recognized holidays. That also indicates staff that are required to work on holidays, such as the wastewater plant staff and the water production staff that was here earlier, they get holiday pay for working for the holiday as well. So if it's not listed on that list, they don't get the extra double pay for the holiday.
So you'll get back with us?
I'll get back with you, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners? On the chairman's update, I want to just commend the entire staff for what we've done this past year. And at the town hall meetings, we had 4 or 5 staff members there, and Mr. Burrs, even though he's not there, did a great job. And I think somehow we ought to put what you did on a website or
We'll do
something.
that,
I don't know. Jay could do that.
Yeah,
so-
he certainly can.
So people could learn more about it if they go on YouTube. And then I want to commend one of our employees, Angela Walker. She taught a class, and this is just one of the books. There's 4 books here, right, Todd? 3. But anyway, she taught this to how many people, how many of our staff members?
We had about a dozen.
And it's so they can be prepared to take the test for wastewater treatment operators, right?
Last 3 years.
And how many certified operators do we have?
Wastewater
The
operators? We've got 8 or 9 wastewater certified operators right now. We need about 5 more. So there's 5 that are what we call trainees that are working to get their license. So all of those had the opportunity to sit through the class.
So if any commissioner wants to take one of these home, you can see what our operators have to learn. But they're very dedicated people, so we need to appreciate them. I like reading these. Some of y'all might too. But anyway, I just want to commend Angela and for what she did conducting that class. We do need to go in executive session to discuss personnel. Can I have a motion for us to go in executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Motion carries 7-0. Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson? Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Can I have a motion to come out of executive session?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we come out of executive session and re-enter our regular scheduled meeting.
Motion second, all in favor? Commissioner Cook and Commissioner Watson?
Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. We're back in the original meeting. During executive session, we discussed the amendment to the executive director's employment agreement. Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the fourth amendment to the executive director employment agreement. That would be effective July 1, 2024.
You want to read it?
Second.
That's
That's
good.
Is there a second?
Yeah, that's second by Watson, I believe.
Second by Watson. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Commissioner Cook, Commissioner Watson?
Watson, yes.
Motion carries 7-0. I want to commend all the commissioners on the work on this. We look forward to working with you, Andrew, for many more years.
Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Commissioner Cook?